Welcome to The Explainer. So, have you ever thought about what it's really like to become a dentist at one of Pakistan's most well-known colleges? Well, today we're going to take you on a journey inside the Fatima Jinnah Dental College in Karachi. We're talking the whole shebang, from that very first day all the way to launching a successful career. So, let's jump right in. To really get what FJDC is all about, you have to start with its namesake, Fatima Jinnah. This quote right here, it just says it all about her resilience. What's amazing is that she wasn't just this huge political figure. She was also a dentist, a total pioneer who faced her own challenges head-on. And that spirit, that determination, is literally the bedrock of the entire college.
All right, so let's dive into that legacy. It's really the DNA of the college, and to see what makes it tick today, you've got to understand where it came from.
Okay, so here are the basics. The college was established way back in 1992, but it's not just some old institution, right? It's a real cornerstone for dental education in Pakistan. I mean, think about it. For over 3 decades, it's been carving out a name for itself, building this reputation for being top-notch, right in the heart of Karachi. And I'm not kidding when I say cornerstone. FJDC has the incredible distinction of being the pioneer of dental colleges in Karachi. They didn't just show up to the party, they basically threw the party. They were setting the standard for everyone else to follow in one of the country's biggest cities.
So you got to wonder, right? How do you build something like that from scratch? Well, it all comes down to a really powerful vision. Let's take a look at the minds behind the mission, the people who guided the college through those tough early days.
And I love this quote from the chairman, Dr. S. Bakar Askari, because he doesn't sugarcoat it. He says they sailed over rough and stormy seas. It makes you realize, wow, this was not an easy ride. It took some serious grit and a relentless drive to create a dental college that was truly top tier. And all that hard work, all that resilience, it laid the groundwork for this really clear mission from the CEO, Dr. S. Hussein Askari. And the key phrase here is educating the whole individual. So what does that actually mean? It means they're not just trying to create tooth mechanics, They're focused on shaping well-rounded professionals, people who are ready for a long, successful career. Okay, so that's the big picture, the philosophy. But what does it look like for you as a student? Let's get into the nitty-gritty and map out your journey from day one to becoming a full-fledged dentist. All right, so your path to a BDS degree is this super structured 4-year plan. The first 2 years, that's your preclinical phase. You're hitting the books, building that solid science foundation. Then, years 3 and 4, that's when things really kick into high gear. You're in the clinical phase, getting hands-on with advanced stuff, even seeing real medical and surgical cases. And the whole thing culminates in the house job, which is basically this intense, supervised training that makes sure you are 100% ready to step out into the real world. Okay, and this is actually a really smart part of their whole setup. Your education is literally split between 2 campuses. So for those first 2 preclinical years, you're at the Korangi Creek campus, just drilling down on the fundamental sciences. But then when it's time for the clinical stuff, you move over to the Azam Basti campus, which is where the dental hospital is. See how that works? They make sure you've mastered the theory before they throw you into the deep end of a real working hospital environment. Super smart.
But, a curriculum and a campus map, that only tells you so much. If you want the real story, the real inside scoop, you have to talk to the people who've actually been through it. So let's hear from some alumni and get their take on the FJDC experience.
Check out what Aman Khalid has to say. Remember that whole individual idea we talked about? Well, this is it in action. He says he grew personally and professionally, and he specifically calls out the research experience for making him a real competitor in the job market. I mean, that's exactly what you want to hear, right?
Then you've got Anam Saeed, and for her, it was all about the vibe, the environment. She uses words like collaborative and creative, and says that's what made it such a great place to study. You can just feel the pride when she says she knows she made the right decision.
And I love this one from Zubaira Jamal because it's so practical. She just cuts right to the chase. The course got her ready for the real world. It gave her the knowledge she needed to actually get a good job. At the end of the day, isn't that the bottom line? That's the payoff right there.
So it's pretty clear that getting your degree is just the beginning. It's not the end of the race, it's the starting gun. So once you have that FJDC degree in hand, what's next? What kind of doors does it open?
And you can see this commitment to what's next baked right into the college's own history. Get this. They were established in 1992.
And just 3 years later, only 3 years, they were already recognized for postgraduate teaching. That is incredibly fast. It shows you that from day one, they were thinking about how to help their students keep growing and learning. And that forward-thinking attitude translates into real, tangible benefits for you after you graduate. Want to specialize? You can pursue your master's. Want to network? There's a powerful alumni association waiting for you. Want to stay on the cutting edge? They've got professional development workshops and seminars. It's a whole support system.
And of course, none of this would matter without official recognition. This isn't just a list of acronyms. This is the proof in the pudding. When you're affiliated with major players like Jenison Medical University, your degree carries serious weight. And having the big regulatory bodies like HEC and PMDC on board, that's your guarantee that the education you're getting is the real deal, meeting the highest standards in the country. So, let's wrap this up. When you piece it all together, you've got this incredible history of resilience, this focus on developing the whole person, and a super clear pathway to a great career. It's obvious that FJDC has built something special. They give you the foundation, they give you the tools, they open the doors. So the only question left really is, what will the next generation of graduates, maybe even you, do with it?